send on the other songs.
Mike's Daily Podcast.
Episode 584. It's Friday, October 25th, 2013, 9 p.m. Pacific Time. Internet talk radio for your imagination. Mike Matthews broadcasting from the last place on earth, located somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California. Today we hear from Madame Rootabega, Valentino, Bison Bentley, plus the return of the segment FABAGOO Things to Do, where we look at fun things to do this weekend with Steve Hansen from FABAGOO.com. Mike's Daily Podcast. And I have some mean things to say about a good friend of mine. Is that wrong? Mike's Daily Podcast. My friend told me that he is annoying so that he helps his friends become stronger. That reminds me of that Kelly Clarkson song, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. And you know what? She's right. But he has some bizarre things that he does. Like something that he did today that almost got us in trouble with the fuzz. Well, actually, no, it would have been in trouble with the guy at Costco. Mike's Daily Podcast. We went shopping, and I said, I'm going to pick up some things. And he says, oh, I don't think I will go. Mike's and get anything. Daily. I think I'll just get maybe one podcast, thing. He said. So, yeah, we got one cart, and we went shopping. Lo and behold, about 5 minutes in, half the cart is his stuff, half the cart is my stuff, but his stuff is like overflowing, so it's like overflowing into my side of the cart. We should have just gotten two carts. And I said, I thought you were not going to get anything. And he said, oh, I thought I'd pick up a couple things. I must say, though, he shops very healthy. A lot of things. Melons, avocado, fresh salmon, all this healthy stuff. Flaxseed, hemp seed, chia seed. It was all this stuff in his cart. Okay, well, that's fine. So I said, hey, let's divide up what we're paying for, because he had his own Costco card. I have mine. We went ahead and bought the stuff, our separate stuff, kept it separate, got two separate receipts, right? We're leaving the Costco, and I go, hey, Robert, you need to get your receipt out, because that's the deal when you leave Costco. You've done this before, haven't you? Oh, yeah, I've done this before. All right, so when you leave the Costco, you've got to show him your receipt. And he said, yeah, okay, I'm not going to do it. What? Why aren't you going to show him your receipt? Oh, they never check for it anyway. And besides, let's see what he does. He's going to look at your receipt and think that all this food is yours. I'm like, no, he's not. He's going to see all this food and go, this isn't all on this receipt. Did you steal the rest of it? He's like, no, he's not. Just go ahead. So we get up to the guy, and sure enough, he's like, there's not, and totally, yeah, we got into trouble. I was arrested, thrown in jail. Oh, and okay, I went off on a tangent. None of that happened. No, I told him, I'm like, get your receipt out, and he wouldn't get his receipt out. So when we get to the guy, I'm like, he's got a receipt, and the guy said, you better take your receipt out, sir, otherwise, and he really said this, otherwise I'll have to put a lock on your card. And so then my friend, who likes to dabble in danger and be anti-authoritarian, pulled out his receipt. And that was the little fun time we had at Costco. Speaking of food, I would like to say this about buying food at Costco. A lot of people say they won't shop at Costco because it's too much food and a lot of it goes to waste. Now, that's very conscientious, because it is true that as a whole, the American public wastes about 40% of the food they bring home from the supermarket. 40%. And a lot of that has to do with the Best Buy dates, the dates we see on the milk and the eggs. And a lot of us are ignorant as to what that Best Buy date really means. What it really means is, best sold by this date, but it doesn't mean that it expires by then. Most products allow you like another 3 weeks before it even begins to start to possibly get a little bad. So there's this website that talks about all this called foodshift.net, and check that out, because it really talks about how Americans are just wasting entirely too much food. And it's a waste of money, it's a waste of our resources as a country. It's something to check out, foodshift.net. Oh, look who just walked in.
Hello, Michael Matthew. I don't waste any food because I don't eat food. I photosynthesize. I am Madame Rootabega.
You know, and you are named Madame Rootabega, and a rutabaga is a type of fruit, or is it a vegetable? And so that would mean that maybe you've photosynthesized because you're a plant.
Yes, Michael Masu, I photosynthesize.
That's entirely too creepy. Get away from me. Look who else just walked in.
Hello there, Mike. This is Valentino, the parking attendant.
And this is Bison Bentley. Do you know that?
Mike, are you, being a racist against Madame Rootabega because she's a vegetable?
I am sorry, madam. It's true. That's just a way you process food. Is fantastic what you do. So, madam, I'm sorry.
You are forgiving.
Wonderful. Now, can I be racist against her because she's got a bizarre accent?
No, Mike, that's not nice. Some of us don't talk like you do, so you shouldn't, discriminate.
You're right. I wish I talked more like you. I want to talk like you, walk like you, and sing other Disney songs.
I love Walt Disney. Do you know that? He's frozen.
And you guys, I miss Uncle Zinzo.
Yeah, Uncle Zinzo couldn't be here tonight. Oh, wait, he just walked in. Hello, Mike. This is Uncle Zinzo, and you should know that wasting food doesn't mean anything in life, because life is short, and then you're dead. Capiche?
Thank you. Another big piece of knowledge he just dropped on me, or dumped on me. And that brings us to another, what's the cliche of the week? Because I am hearing the word dump being used entirely too much in today's world. For example, what's the cliche of the week? People saying information. What's the cliche of the week? Information dump. What's the cliche of the week? Or data dump. What's the cliche of the week? Like if you start talking about a bunch of trivia and you say, hey, did you know that the band Boston was formed in the 1970s and was created by the guitarist Tom Scholz? They'll say, that's an information dump, Mike. That's trivia dump. That's entirely too much information that we didn't care about, and say, what's the cliche of the week? Then they put the word dump behind it. What's the cliche of the week? Like this would be a cliche dump. What's the cliche of the week? And I think we're what's the cliche of the week? Spent. So anyway, what'd you think of that, Uncle Zinzo?
Mike, life's too short for talking about cliches. Capiche?
You're right. So this show today is a travel show, and this might be interesting for you if you are going to be traveling to Saudi Arabia. A social media campaign to win women the right to drive in Saudi Arabia culminates with a call for them to take to the wheel across the country tomorrow. It is the third such campaign in the past 20 years, and while authorities have warned against taking part, there are some signs attitudes are changing. Since launching the latest campaign last month, activists say they have sensed a new mood in Saudi Arabia that is increasingly favorable to lifting the ban on women driving, according to the bbc.co.uk. They say it is very different from back in 1990, when nearly 50 women staged their first act of defiance, leading to arrests and many losing their jobs. Thousands of Saudis have signed an online petition in honor of lifting the ban, or have posted slogans and cartoons in support. Local newspapers and TV channels have addressed the issue in an unprecedented way, with many articles suggesting it's time for the ban to be lifted. A group of around 100 conservative clerics gathered at the royal court, denouncing the campaign as a conspiracy by women and a serious threat to the country. One sheikh had earlier attracted mockery online when he suggested that a key reason for not letting women drive was that it would damage their ovaries and lead to defective children. Oh, man. I'm not a woman, but I'm so pissed off at that guy for saying that right now. Finally, this may have been the most dynamic campaign so far to win Saudi women the right to drive. It even has its own song by a well-known Saudi-born singer named Shams. But its organizers, participants, and supporters never expected change overnight.
So, Michael Masu, if I go to Saudi Arabia, I will not be able to drive?
No.
Will I be allowed to punch a conservative cleric in the face?
Probably not that either.
Oh, I think I'll stay here. Ooh.
All right, well, so this is bizarre. this story. What do you think? Email me, mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. Remember, there's no apostrophe in the mics. You can't type apostrophes when you're typing emails. So just type mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com. And I feel like I just gave a lesson to a bunch of people that were like, we knew that already, Mike. But I just said it. It goes without saying, so I'll go without saying it anymore. But if you'd like to comment on that, we read your comments on the section emails from email. Also email me if you'd like to be a guest on the show or if you'd like to sponsor the show. Mike's Daily Podcast at gmail.com. And check out the website, mikesdailypodcast.com. That is where you can find links to where to find us on iTunes. And you can subscribe to us there and catch the show as soon as we post it. And you can rank and comment on the show there as well. We also have links to where to find us on Yelp, Twitter, SoundCloud, Spreaker, YouTube, and we are on the wonderful Facebook. We have a Facebook page. In fact, like us on Facebook, and when we post a new show, you will instantly get it in your news feed. And then you can share that with your friends, and more people will find out about Mike's Daily Podcast. There's also a link to where to shop for cool deals on the Amazon deal of the day through mikesdailypodcast.com. If you click on that link and buy something, we see a little bit of money. And finally, yes, there's the blog and the daily podcast picture at mikesdailypodcast.com.
FABAGOO Things to Do. Things to Do.
Hello, Mike. How are you, sir?
We are talking once again with FABAGOO Things to Do. Do you have some things to do?
I have some things to do, Mike.
I have to tell you, Basil is wiped out because we walked from my house to Lake Chabot and back, and that's a long walk today, so we're a little worn out.
How long of a walk is that?
I think that's like close to 8 miles, I think. 8 or 9 miles. And it's hills, it goes up and down, all the way there.
You walk 8 or 9 miles? No kidding?
I think today, yeah, not usually. This was just sort of a freak thing. The weather was, because usually the weather's pretty hot here in Podcastro Valley, California, and today it was nice and overcast. So Basil can go much further when it's cooler.
Wow, no, what's that, about a 3-hour jaunt?
Yeah, it took about 3 hours today. Yeah.
Well, that's dedication. How often do you do that?
Oh, this is, like I said, like a once in a great while type thing.
God, I thought I was doing good taking Bree out for a mile.
Yeah. No, that's good. Every little bit helps.
I got to improve now. I got to keep up with Basil.
Yeah, the hot weather puts him out so like that anytime you come upon some shade, he'll just lay down, when it gets really hot. But today he made it. He made it, and now he's worn out.
Take advantage of those cloudy days. I like those days myself.
We don't get them much here in Podcastro Valley, California. I guess that's a good thing.
Yeah, that, I guess, kind of to me it slows the pace down, doesn't it? Kind of slows everything down, a little bit overcasty, a little chill in the air. I like that. I kind of like that.
Yeah, and then when the BART is on strike, that really slows things down.
Boy, oh boy, those BART guys don't get us started on that, right?
Yeah, well, it's moving again now.
Yeah, for the moment.
Well, were you able to get out to any of the events last weekend?
I did not go out last weekend.
No? More yard work?
Yeah, not minor amount of yard work. I was mostly in my office here doing paperwork. The endless amount of paperwork. It's unbelievable. The mountain. It's hard to whittle a mountain down of the paperwork stack.
I hate paperwork, but it's part of life.
Yeah, why? Who invented paperwork?
I know, we live in the internet age when paper is basically less than it was, but we still got a bunch of it. It's all on the internet and everything we got to do.
Oh my gosh! I mean, I look at my desk and it's a wood desk with a wood grain on the top, and I kind of rate how well I'm doing by how much wood grain that I can see on the top of my desk. When I see lots of wood grain, I know I'm getting close.
Oh, that's funny.
I can't see any wood grain right now, Mike. Oh, wait, there's a little speck over in the right lower corner over here. I can see just a hint of wood grain peeking at me. Beyond that, it's just it's like a big snow blur of white.
Steve, I didn't know you had so much in common with termites. You enjoy wood grain as well.
Yeah, we're pretty close. Just don't spray that orange oil on me.
No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even if it is eco-friendly, it's not.
Yeah.
Steve.
Don't believe everything you hear, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
Who knows?
Well, Steve, let's say someone's in the Bay Area and they want to do something this weekend. Do you have any interesting ideas from your FABAGOO.com website?
I do. Let's start out with some music.
Music! Woo!
On Saturday and Sunday is the 27th annual Bridge School Benefit Concert.
Birch School?
The Bridge School Benefit Concert. This is down at the in Mountain View at the Shoreline Amphitheater.
Is that
familiar?
Is that the Neil Young thing?
Yeah, that was put together originally by Neil Young and his wife Peggy. This is 27 years that this has been going on. This is a big acoustic event. This goes on every year. And this year, we got some wonderful performers down there. We've got Diana Krall, Jenny Lewis, Fun, Heart, Queens of the Stone Age, My Morning Jacket, Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, one of my favorites from high school. I kicked that music on my old 8-track in my Camaro, and life was good. Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and of course Neil Young was with Crosby, Stills, Nash and Young, and he'll be perhaps performing with them this year down there. And then Elvis Costello.
Ah, awesome. I wish.
Yeah, it's a cool acoustic concert, and this, of course, benefits the Bridge School, and that was to ensure that individuals that had severe speech and physical impairments were able to achieve full participation in their community. So it's a super worthy event. The proceeds go to, and it should be a super good concert if you want to just kind of go and just kind of relax and mellow out and chill and listen to some really nice music under the stars.
Now, are you going to go to that with your Camaro?
I wish I was. That would have been a good one to go to, and then but gone is the old 8-track, right?
Oh yeah.
The old 8-track. The old 8-track was a wonderful thing.
No longer, huh?
No longer, all gone. You can't even find them at the antique shows anymore. The old 8-track.
Wow.
Tape. And we've also got, with the season of Halloween here upon us, in San Francisco, in Chinatown, they have the San Francisco Chinatown Ghost Tours. And this goes on besides right now at Halloween. This is something that goes on all year long over in San Francisco. And it rates it as a tour for people who love mystery but aren't afraid of the dark. It's a 2-hour tour. It starts and finishes in Chinatown, and you have a guide that leads you with a lamp, and you follow him around, and you go up and down all these old alleyways. So Chinatown is pretty awesome in its own right during the day, right? But during the day, you got a gajillion people, and you got all the shops, but all these old alleyways and these creepy places within, the back areas of Chinatown, that's where you go on this walk. And basically you go back there, and it's supposedly haunted. There's lots of ghosts that run around through Chinatown, and they tell you different stories about different people that have lived there, different things that have happened to people, why the ghosts are there, where the ghosts get spotted, and it's supposed to be a pretty supernatural event.
Oh my gosh. And Chinatown is old, and it dates back to some of the earliest history of San Francisco. So that's
absolutely awesome. It's the oldest Chinese community in the United States.
Wow. That'd be awesome.
The tour finishes to a magician in a known haunted cellar. And there's a magician that puts on a little act at the end of the tour. So that sounds like a fun one. That sounds like a good one, and certainly festive for this time of the year.
Chinatown Ghost Tours.
Yes, indeed. And then we've got in Livermore, if you're in for a cute, fun read play, Monty Python's Spamalot at the Bankhead Theater in Livermore. So Monty Python, when I was growing up in high school, Monty Python was all the rage. We loved Monty Python.
Oh yeah, and then I've never seen Spamalot. I've always wanted to check it out. I loved my favorite Monty Python movie is The Holy Grail, and that's based on it. And I would love to see it. And I remember, there's been some famous people who have played parts in that musical over the years. So that would be worth seeing.
It's such a fun story. It's recommended for children 12 or older. The younger kids probably aren't going to get it, and parents may not want their kids seeing and hearing some of the stuff that goes on with it. But
spam,
but they say that
spam and spam.
Good. That's perfect.
Spam.
Well, it's been around here a couple of different times. It just played down in Newark. There was a little community theater down in Newark that we did a cross promotion with, and now it's over here at the Bankhead Theater. That's a nice theater in Livermore.
I've never been to that.
Kind of a newer theater, and they did a good job on it, and it should be a good production over there. They say though, but please, if you are easily offended, heed the call of King Arthur. Run away.
Run away. Run away.
away.
Oh, that's a good one. All right.
We've got also if you're into horses and equestrian events, we've got the Grand National Rodeo Horse Show and Livestock Show. That's going to be at the Cow Palace. That's a pretty big event for the equestrian lovers. That's 67th annual.
Wow.
Over there. That's October 25th and 26th. So, big rodeo, big livestock show. They got lots of good vendors over there selling all kinds of award-winning barbecues. They're also going to have a big dance over there at the Cow Palace Saloon before and after each of the rodeo performances. So a lot of good country western music going on. A lot of good dancing and partying and eating good barbecue.
Wow.
That'd be good.
And that goes back to the real heritage of the Cow Palace. I mean, the name says it all of that place.
Yeah, that right. You got that right. That's the right connection on that place over there.
And there is a way to get to that using BART. You can get off. I forget where it is, like somewhere in Mission, and then there's a bus that can take you directly from the BART station to the Cow Palace. I looked that up.
That's good information.
Because a friend of mine
didn't know that.
A friend of mine does like the sound and the music for the Bulls games, and the Bulls the hockey team plays at the Cow Palace over there. So he said to come to one of the games, which I haven't done yet, but I looked up how to do that with the BART system and all that. So.
Wow, very good, very good. That'd be a fun way to go over there and not have to drive.
Yes, I'm always looking for that angle since I live in the Bay Area and BART is now off strike.
Yeah, it's nice being able to get around the Bay Area with not having to drive and put up with all the traffic and just sit and relax and look out the window and go for the ride. I like the sound of BART. Isn't it a tranquil sound of BART when it's running along its rails and it's just kind of this whizzing? You know what I'm talking about, that whizzing sound?
Yes. It's that electrical engine thing. It's all electric and it's just running on electricity. It's great, Steve, except for when there's someone on their cell phone going, "What? You want me to get what?" And they're like screaming at the top of their lungs, and that's not so good.
That's not so good.
But
kind of exciting every time that BART stops, and then you sit and everybody gets on and off, and then it starts up again. I kind of like it starting up again. You're kind of going somewhere, right? You got some destination that you're going to, and every time it starts, it's kind of exciting. I don't know why that makes me happy, but it does.
Wow, Steve, you are a true Bay Arean with the way you love the BART.
Born and bred.
And you could write a poem about BART. You're a bard, Bart. A BART bard is what you are. Wow.
For our final one here, this is a pretty cool one. We found this one last week before we talked, but we thought we'd wait and share it tonight. This is kind of a very unique, very obscure event, and it's close by. It's in Napa, and it goes along kind of with the kind of the Day of the Dead and Halloween here. It's the second annual Napa Valley Coffin Races.
Coffin races?
Yeah, as in coffin. As in coffins, and this the minimum size. So if you want to enter, so you think about the old Pinewood Derby type things where in Scouts used to carve out the little Pinewood Derby cars and put wheels on them and all that.
Right.
Well, this is big. The minimum size you can make your coffin is 2 foot by 5 foot.
Whoa.
And you decorate it up. You can make it look however you want to make it look. And the run is 633 feet. This is sponsored by the Napa Valley Firefighters Association, and it goes to a good benefit. They haven't announced who the proceeds are going to benefit yet, but it'll probably go to somebody good, knowing the firefighters. And what they do is they have qualifying heats of 2 coffins that race 633 feet, and the winner of each of these races keeps moving on, and they do kind of a process of elimination and how many times you win, and then the winner, of course, gets to claim that he won the coffin races. They got some pretty cool T-shirts with a really cool logo on it too that you can buy at the event. And this is in Napa, and this is Saturday, October 26th, and it runs from 12 o'clock to 5 o'clock. And they're going to have lots of vendors there selling food. And Napa is just a cool little town anyway to kind of walk around. You got Old Town Napa, and you got lots of old stores in there, and some nice restaurants in the town of Napa also.
Oh, that's cool. Now, how are you moving the coffins? Are they moving like down a hill, or somebody pushing them? They're running.
They have wheels. You put your wheels on there, and I don't know the answer to that. Whether it's I'm thinking it's probably a push thing with a slight downgrade. Right, 633 feet. That's a pretty fair distance.
Wow.
So I imagine they probably give them a little push and down a little hill they go. I don't imagine it's too steep in Napa there.
Yeah.
Slight downgrade.
Yeah, you don't want to have those coffins actually become useful.
No, that would be pretty ironic, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But no, that is really spooky and cool, and that's happening the Saturday before Halloween, this Saturday. So
yeah, in Napa. So yeah, that's a great place to go up to anyway. A lot of great towns up there, and you got St. Helena and all those different places around there to go to, Sonoma.
Yeah.
So yeah, I go up there for the day, and it's a nice little area up there, and it's not that far. 45 minutes away. You're up there on the weekend with no traffic.
Wow, that's true. Great idea, Steve. Thank you.
You betcha. So any of these events, if anybody needs more information on them, if you can't, you can probably go and Google them. You can visit our website, FABAGOO.com. If you can't find the actual event on there, you can email me from the website, and we can locate it for you. And if anybody wants to find anything other going on, that they have other interests, we can always research it for them and try to find the perfect event. If you're expecting company and they've got some special interests or hobbies, as of this morning, there was over 3,000 events on the site that are going on, off and on for the next 3 months. So we can find you something special.
Yes. Wow. That's fantastic that you do that. Thank you, Steve. And have you found a costume for Halloween yet?
So my wife bought me a T-shirt. It's a blue T-shirt, and it just has a big ghost on the front of it with a big red cross. So no ghosts. So that's the extent of my costume. She always says that I'm always saying I don't have a costume for Halloween. So she bought me this T-shirt. So that's about as close as I'm going to get this year. How about you?
Sounds like a Ghostbusters shirt. I'm actually working on Halloween night, and then this Saturday I'm doing something that's not Halloween related. So once again, every year I miss out on the Halloween festivities. I have not made a costume, I think, in over 10 years. If that, I probably have never made a costume. Ever.
Never.
I'm just one boring guy. But I'm always very impressed by those people that do make costumes, especially the really clever ones.
There are some pretty amazing people out there that do some pretty clever stuff. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that's cool. Well, I hope you find some wood grain soon.
You know what? Well, I just moved some of my papers around from our conversation here tonight. You can hear the paper moving. You hear the paper moving over here?
Yay, success.
Yeah, I can see a little bit more. I got a little spot of glimmer in the middle of the desk here. So we're getting close. Another hour or two here, and I'll get it knocked out, and we'll be good.
Just don't let any termites near that desk.
No termites. No, we don't like termites.
As we go outside of the last place on earth where we bring you Mike's Daily Podcast, somewhere in Podcastro Valley, California, and we see all the termite damage to the last place on earth. Oh, well, who cares?
And here's today's podcast picture.
The picture is of me at a baseball park, at AT&T Park, the Giants Stadium thing in San Francisco, because, well, baseball season's about to end, and I thought I would post it. And it was a cold, chilly night, as it can be there in San Francisco. I think this was in August or July, I forget when, but it was a little chilly. Had to wear my toque, as the Canadians call them. That's what I found out from Nikki English of the Canadian country band Western Avenue, who we interviewed this week, called toques, like Bob and Doug McKenzie called them. Oh, such a fun name. And in Alabama, they call them toboggans. Here they just call them caps, skull caps, hats. We don't really have a fancy name for them here in the Bay Area, but that's what you see me at a baseball game, whoopee, at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Michael Matthews, that was a description dump.
It was. Sometimes I think this is a dump.
Michael Matthews, you don't like the last place on earth?
No, I'm just kidding. It's a wonderful. It's a beauty dump here. It's a cool people dump. It's a...
You don't know what to say, dump?
I don't. I'm done. It's a done dump.
I am starting to get disgusted.
All right, well then tomorrow we won't have an MDP. Or Sunday. But next week we'll bring you another Mike's Daily Podcast. And the return of Do You Know Dat? Plus, we'll hear from a musician we talked to at the beginning of the year and find out what's going on with him. Catch up with this guy who's very interesting, leads a very interesting life. And we'll have the return of Welsh on the World. Not to mention, we'll hear from Chely Shoehart, Floyd the Floorman, and John Deere the Engineer.
I love Walt Disney. Do you know that? He's frozen.
And you are not Bison Bentley, and we are so thankful for that.
I'm not. I wish he was cold. I wish he was put on ice day.
That's not very nice, Valentino. What do you think about your nephew saying that, Uncle Zinzo?
Mike, life is too short to talk to your nephews about anything because they got their heads in the clouds and in the data dumps, and then they're looking at their cell phones talking to hot ladies over the internet. It's too short to talk to them about anything because they're not listening. I'm going to punch you in the face, Mike. Capiche?
Woo! Okay. Maybe we do need to take a couple days off.
Mike's Daily Podcast is written and produced and performed by Mike Matthews. His podcast is super easy to find. Download or listen to his show and read his blog at mikesdailypodcast.com.
Email Mike now at mikesdailypodcast@gmail.com.
See you tomorrow. Bye!